Alright guys, so today we have an awesome car here. This is a 2004 Lexus LS430 Ultra Luxury Edition. So this is the top of the line Lexus LS430 back in 2004, which has pretty much every amenity that you would want, that pretty much mimics like a Mercedes, BMW, anything like that, with some of their luxury sedans that they offered back then. This is offered with the Toyota 3UZ engine, which makes 290 power and 310 torque. So decent numbers for what it is for back in the day, for a 20-plus-year-old car. But this thing has to drive so smooth with that V8 engine, as well as it's super quiet in here, so you know you have something very, very luxurious. But what's nice is Lexus still made it to the point where you can hear the exhaust, and it's actually a very good sounding exhaust for this. I believe the 3UZ V8 engine were in some of the Tundras. I could be wrong, let me know down below, but I believe they were. But if not, this might have just been a Lexus only V8 engine that they use for other cars. But it's not bad. It's made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission that shifts decently. It's more there for the shifting, for smoothness rather than quickness. So, but just cruising along at 45-50 miles an hour, this car feels and drives like a cloud. So for 20 years old, I can't believe how everything is still working perfect as it should. I mean, this car is, you couldn't ask for like a cleaner car for what it is. I mean, this thing literally, this car has oscillating vents that you can turn on and off through the climate control, which I think is crazy. I mean, who would ever think that you would need oscillating vents? But it's actually a really nice feature just to get the air conditioning all the way across you rather than just aim it at a certain point on you. This thing also has like I said, every option known to man. One of the big downfalls, but luxury sides of things that this has, is since this is the ultra luxury version, it has air suspension from factory. So it drives, and it drives very smooth. And I mean, going over any bumps and stuff, it's very, very smooth. And you also can adjust the height from normal to high, just in case you're trying to get onto a curb or something like that where you don't want the front end of the car to actually hit. But you have that option. But if you have to replace it, it's probably going to be $1,000 per strut that you need to replace. And they just tend to go bad because of old age and the rubber and everything like that leaking. But if you went with a lower model, you wouldn't have to worry about this, because it comes with just like coilover suspension or whatever, or McPherson strut suspension. So there is no air related to that. So that suspension will last much longer than the air suspension that's on here. And then you also have sport and normal, because you can adjust how stiff the bags are as well, or how stiff the suspension is. So that is also a plus. As well as then you have power for your transmission. You can either go to power mode or snow mode. I'm not sure exactly what the difference are. I think power holds out the RPMs a little bit, and then snow, not exactly sure what that means. But then you also have a rear shade that you can move up and down from here, traction off. You can adjust the rear headrests from here. If they're in your way, you can put them down. As well as you have headlight washer fluid that goes straight to the headlights. So you have that to help clean them off if you got bugs or anything like that on it. And then over here on the left side of the steering wheel, you have automatic tilting, well, you have auto closing, opening mirrors, so that way they'll fold in once you unlock or lock the car. You obviously have power mirrors to adjust that. You also have parking sensors, gas lock, trunk lock releases over here, and then a parking brake, a hand release parking brake, but then a foot, there's a pedal on the floor that you can press the pedal to engage the parking brake, and then you pull a handle to release it. So this also has, obviously, I believe this has tri-zone climate controls, because you have dual zone up here, and then the rear, obviously, in this car in particular, this is where you want to be, is the rear. We'll talk about that later on in the video, but you obviously have dual zone up in the front. You can change your climate controls, and you can obviously leave it on auto, and then everything will pretty much work itself. I mean, it's funny to look at, but there's so many buttons on here that state auto. So, I mean, you can literally turn your auto recirculate on and off, turn the AC to auto. You have auto rear climate control. You have auto power folding side mirrors. I mean, everything on here has the word auto on it, which is funny and crazy to think about. So that way it's automated and you don't have to think about it. Oh, another thing, you have automatic headlights, automatic rain wiping sensors. So all that is all auto as well. And then obviously you have the Mark Levinson sound system in this, which sounds really good if it's working. So if you know and you watch some of my other videos, I have done some work on this car, and one of the biggest issues were the speakers. The foam around the speakers tend to degrade, and they literally just start falling apart, and then you pretty much lose all sound or any bass or anything like that from the speakers, and they'll start rattling. You also have a 6-disc CD changer, so, and then you have heated and ventilated front seats on the car. So you also have a USB ports for this specific one, because I have added some aftermarket stuff to add Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so on and so forth to bring this up to today's technology. You have an amazing dash. I think that looks really good. You have obviously your temperature, your speedometer, your odometer, your tachometer, and then your fuel gauge. That's really all you need. And this car has a very low amount of miles compared to some other LS430s out there. If you guys are familiar with the car care nut, he recently did a 600,000 mile restore on a LS430. So this is not even 1/4 of the way to that mileage. So as long as they're taken care of, these cars will last a lifetime. The reliability on these engines is also very high up there, as long as you take care of. The biggest thing on here is the timing belt. So if you change that around 60 to 80,000 miles, you will never have any problems at all. But I mean, other than just frequent oil changes, I don't think I've seen any other people have issues with these engines, other than just your typical, probably water pumps go out, and that's probably it. So and one other thing too, you obviously have a nice sunroof, tilts and slides back, so pretty big for this car. And then this, obviously we haven't spoke about the interior color on this car. This is actually a very rare option to see. It is a saddle brown interior. Typically these have a light tan interior or a black interior. So to find one that has a saddle brown interior, which I think suits this car really nicely. So it just is a cherry on the top for how nice this car looks and is. So one other thing that I love about this car is obviously you got your normal visors that pull out everything, but then you have this little tiny visor that goes right above the rear view mirror that helps get that little bit of light that always tends to shine right into your eye. So you have that is just the little touches that you look at and you think, wow, I'm so glad they thought about that. So that is one other thing that makes this car just a little bit above any other cars in this class. But let's hop in the back seat and see all the little features and everything that you get in the back. And one other thing too I didn't talk about is the steering wheel controls. So you have your display, which changes the like MPG, your average, filled to empty, all those. And then you have another display that when you activate cruise control, this car actually came with radar cruise control back in 2004. So it will, obviously it'll pace the car in front of them. It works okay. I've tested it and I've used it. It works really good on just straight roads and everything like that, but as soon as it starts kind of turning, the sensor's in a very weird spot. They put it to the right side of the bumper. It's not even on the center like they do now. But so I think that might help. I think the facelifted version in 2005, they moved it to the center, so that might have been a slight issue for them. But for a car that's 20 years old that they had radar cruise control, it's amazing that they had it. You also have your steering wheel controls with your volume. You also have a voice assistant on this car, which really does not work at all. It does not understand you one bit. I try to ask it to take me to directions and it's clueless. So, but this does have on navigation built in, everything like that. So, which is cool. But it's 20-year-old navigation. So being able to update it to say have a Grom head unit like this one that uses the factory navigation or factory head unit, but all it does is add Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to those people who want that, and then you can obviously just use maps that way. But everything is wireless on here, which makes things nicely. So it integrates very nicely to the OEM stock unit on here. As well, in 2004, this car did come with a backup camera. It's not the nicest quality backup camera, but it's probably slightly better than what Toyota's putting in their cars now. So, and before we move on to the back, the door has all auto windows, locking doors, window lock, as well as memory seats, and an adjustment for your seatbelt, so you can either choke yourself or not. I mean, I am about 5'10", and I have ample leg space in front of me, so there is no reason that you would not be comfortable back here. You also have rear sunshades here, as well as on the little window. So that's something I don't see on many other newer cars. They'll usually put them on here, but not in the back here. You also have memory seats back here, as well as obviously you have air conditioner and plenty of other space. But the thing that you want is when you pull down the armrest. So when you pull down the armrest, you have all this access to reclining your seats. So you can recline your seat. You can also move your headrest up and down. Obviously you can do that on both sides. And if you're obviously in the passenger side, you can even tell the front person to move forward or backwards and move that seat up or down. So that's crazy that you can do that. So, but obviously you want as much room as possible. And then one cool thing on here is you have seat massagers, which these are more of just a seat rattler than a massager, but it is a really cool feature. And obviously you can adjust the volume from here. You can change your rear temperature control over here as well. And You have all sorts of other things back here that you can lock yourself out. You can put your, like I said, you can adjust pretty much the entire audio system from back here while sitting in the back seat. And then you have another thing too, obviously heated and cooled seats in the back, which are obviously a good thing to have. And then you can also adjust your rear sunshade back here if it is too bright. But one thing too that comes with the ultra luxury, I believe is the only thing that is on there versus the other ones, is you have this hidden cubby that also acts as a refrigerator. So you can literally put like soda drinks in cans back there, keep them cold. Obviously tells you not to put perishable food back there, because all it does is use the AC vents there and just routes it into a small thing to obviously hold and cool down that little cubby. So obviously the back seats, super nice. You get your own vanity mirrors. So if you take a look, you can pop your vanity mirror down. You have lights right there as well. You have hangers. You have your own vanity lights here that swivel. And then your air conditioned vents that you can control back there as well. So very nice, very spacious back here. And you have ashtrays as well for the 20-year-old car. So let's hop on the outside of this car and take a look at what we got going on back there. So one thing too to note, this car has keyless entry on all doors, so you keep the key in your pocket and you never have to start it. This also has parking sensors all around, the dual exhaust for that V8 engine, that sounds really good. And this is a very nice looking car altogether. So it shows it's not fancy looking, it's not over the top, but it is very nice and very clean. So open up the trunk. There's quite a few little things in here, but you have plenty of space in here. You even have a toolkit right here, and then you have redundancy, because if say the electronic latch does not open the gas lid, you can pull it there. But there's plenty of space in here. This does not have a pass-through, so one thing to think about, you cannot fold those rear seats down. And my favorite part is the soft close that just pulls it down. One other thing on this, every door has soft close. So if you just push the door, it'll suck it right in, which is crazy that it does that. And it's only on the ultra luxury versions. So if you pop the hood, this has the 4.3 3UZ engine in it, so runs smooth and beautiful. But other than that, I mean, the interior is where you want to be on this car. The interior makes everything feel super nice. And like I said, you add some of the futuristic things here, where we added a GROM unit on this specific one that gives you access to wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all the other goodies. And instead of having a cigarette lighter, we routed a USB in here, so that way you can charge your phone with normal cables. So for a 20-year-old car, this car has more amenities than pretty much some of the cars that are being released today. And for the price tag of one of these, I mean, for some of the very low mileage ones like this that are ultra luxury and everything is working perfectly fine, they're going in the $15,000 to $20,000 marks. But you can find some of the other lower model ones that don't have all the fancy amenities where everything in the back seat you need. But you can still find some that are fairly cheap for like probably $2,500 to $5,000 in okay condition, but you know you have a very reliable engine. So, but with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.